2023 to the Sawi Kanda in a crowd. My name is Noble Crosby, and in the bulletin this afternoon, the late Gatmanye, Nadede Metro III, goes home today. Also coming out this afternoon, Israel's military intensifies bombing of Gaza as ground forces expand operations. Welcome to the program. The late Gatmanye Nadede Omejo III will be buried today after the performance of the funeral and traditional rites. Several dignitaries, including the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, they are attending the ceremony here in Accra. My colleague Emmanuel Samani is following the final funeral rite of the late Gatmanye, and he joins with some more updates. Samani, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Day 2 of the funeral rite, a busy day for you. What has been happening there?
Well, thank you very much, Crosby. We're currently at the funeral grounds. You can see in your shots the delegates that are present here. So the ceremony has begun, and it's in two folds. The Christian rites will take place first, followed by the traditional rites. We've just had a few prayers from the Anglican Church, and subsequently, it will be followed by the traditional funeral rites. I can tell you that there's quite a number of people here. As you can see in your shots, some dignitaries are here as well. The Vice President is here as well. The First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, in your shot as well. So it's been quite a, you know, remote atmosphere here, and so far so good. You can see in your shots there, the dignitaries there. And yes, I can tell you also that we have some traditional rulers coming from the Dagbon area, coming from Machi, as well as some ministers of state here as well. So Crosby, it's so far so good here at the funeral grounds for the late Nadede Omejo III here.
Samani, thank you for those updates. But if you could talk to us about what is expected in the line of the activities aside today's happenings.
What's next? Crosby, say that again.
So what I'm asking for is in the itinerary of the events to mark the final funeral rites of the late Gatmanye. What more do we expect to see in the coming days?
Right. So we understand that the President Akufo-Addo is making his way here. And then once he gets here, it shall begin. But I can tell you that currently the Christian procession is ongoing, followed by the traditional rites. So we will be here for a while, and then...
Emmanuel Samani, unfortunately, we do not have a better connection with my colleague Emmanuel Samani, who is today covering the Gatmanye final funeral rite. To be touching base with him in our subsequent bulletins for some more updates. Well, just as expected in the release and the restrictions instituted by the Funeral Committee and the Ga Traditional Council, shops in the capital should be closed today. My colleague William Asiedu is joining us with some more update on his experiences around some other parts of the country, particularly in the capital. William, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on the program. En route to work today, the restrictions imposed by the family in the funeral rite of the Gatmanye. What was the atmosphere like from where you came from?
So I was coming from the Pokwasi end to Kanda, and all shops were closed, even in my suburb, my neighborhood around Pokwasi this morning. The observation is that a lot of the shops were closed, but some had their shops slightly open. So when you're buying, you go in, you buy the clothes.
Okay.
Because they suspect that people will be going around to enforce the directive for people to close their shops. But of course, whatever it is, across the board, I think the residents of Accra have given the Queen Mother some very good respect in terms of the honor that the chiefs and people of Ghana were expecting to give the Queen Mother. All the shops are closed. Domain Market shops are closed. Accra shops are closed. Very soon we'll get to the field and see more videos from the field. But it's been good. The solemnity that they wanted for the Queen, I think, has been achieved.
But for the streets, were they also empty?
Yes. So a journey that would take me usually 2 hours from, say, Fise, Pokwasi to Kanda took me less than 30 minutes.
Right.
And I was just telling myself, I wish it was like that every day, but not because of this. But if we're able to also, direct traffic to get us smoothly through. But of course, I mean, it's been observed. Even commercial vehicles, a lot of them did not work today.
Right.
So across the board, I think the people of Accra have given the late Queen Mother some modicum of respect, as was expected.
There were some exceptions in the spokesperson address. You mentioned pharmacy shops. You mentioned people who may want to sell food. Were those present en route to work?
Yes. So around the Kanda area, when you go behind the tourist authority, the tourist center, some food vendors are operating.
Right.
But if you want to buy electricity, for instance, credit, the shops are closed.
Okay.
Some pharmacy shops were open in the Pokwasi, the La Paz area. Some pharmacy shops were open. But besides that, the general business district of Accra, from the main one, Accra Central, across the whole city, they are respecting the...
William, thank you so much. William Asiedu joined us with some update on the adherence to the directives put in place by the Ga Traditional Council. Well, her nearly 6 decades of reign was marked with a sense of service and a selfless dedication to the Ga state. As she goes back home to ancestors, the late Ga Manye, Nadede Omedo III, will be remembered for championing peace and unity.
The late Ga Manye Nadede Omedo III was known in private life as Nadede Abla. She was installed Ga Manye in 1963 at the age of 29. During her 59-year reign, she selflessly devoted her life to public and voluntary service and championed peace, education, and opportunities for young people, especially the girl child.
She had a long reign in the Ga state supporting the Ga Manche and women. She was a mother for all.
She stood for peace and unity, not only among the people of the Ga states, but also all Ghanaians, and advocated a united approach to the development of her people.
Nadede Omedo, as we know, she is really a mother. Not only a mother, but very caring. He never disputes things. She is free with everybody. Anytime you wrong her or something, he quickly recollects you, then it goes on with you. Nadede Omedo is somebody who likes peace. Anytime, anywhere she will be, when there is misunderstanding or quarreling here and there, he will make sure he will bring peace.
Nadede Omedo III was known for her charity work, and in 2004, she donated items worth $12 million to the Ghana Society of the Physically Disabled at the Ghana National Rehabilitation Center in Accra. Her achievements for the Ga state during her 59-year reign were outstanding, devoting her life to public and voluntary service.
She's a mother which, if you have a problem, you can go to her. And she served Ghana for only God knows.
Ekawa hishi ojogba ni no fe no mie ewu awonga ebu awona.
She lived at peace with all. She gave good advice. She was humble. In 2016, she left Ghana for the USA and stayed for 5 years. On April 14, 2021, she returned home and received a grand reception by a high-powered delegation. The Ga state has indeed lost a mother and a unifier.
Na dede umaju ke we be himba.
Well, there definitely will be more on the funeral of the late Ga Manye in a subsequent bulletins. But away from that, respite for kidney disease patients awaiting the enrollment of the disease treatment on the National Health Insurance Scheme will have to wait a while longer. That is after the CEO of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Koboy, revealed that it could take up to a year to make the treatment package finally accessible on the health insurance scheme.
We have what we call actuarial studies. Every package that we add to the scheme, we do some studies to see whether it will weigh the scheme down or we can survive. And the studies shouldn't take more than 60 days, maximum 90 days, which is 3 months. We also have to do stakeholder engagements. You have to meet with the kidney dialysis centers. You have to meet with patients and all that. So within some 6 months to maximum 12 months, there should be a sustainable program to support kidney care in Ghana.
He emphasized the necessity of alternative funding sources to maintain the fund's operations.
It's not about paying more. It's about how to be efficient with what we receive and also how to discuss other ways of funding. Because when you pay more, the assumption would be that those who are paying should necessarily pay more. But there are many ways of bringing in some inflows into the fund, and those are the ways that we have to discuss.
Well, the kidney disease patients, they say the one-year estimation by the CEO of the National Health Insurance Authority to have the treatment package enrolled on the health insurance scheme is unacceptable. Now, the group, they say that for the dialysis patients, the announcement marks of a disregard for their health. Kujubafo Ahinkra is the convener of the dialysis patients, joining us now with some more update. Kujo, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on the program. The CEO of the Health Insurance Authority has been given reasons why this may happen between 6 months and a year. You say the framework is unacceptable. Why?
Yeah, thank you very much, Cosby. The problem is you have people dying. This is an emergency issues. Already, Korle Bu dialysis center is close to the outpatient people. We don't have access to it. They are only just doing the inpatient and a lot of the emergency cases. And most of the people now going back to the ward cases are the outpatient because they are not getting good regular dialysis, because they are not getting proper treatment outside. They are all coming back to the ward cases. So we beg them. We understand. We appreciate what they are saying by saying 6 to 12 months. I mean, the nitty-gritty, whatever I go in, we understand. But my brother, we can't sit down and wait to 12 months. We can't sit down and wait to 12 months. As I'm talking to you now, 19 people are dead. 19 people are dead. 19. So what are we talking about? Okoboy should come again. The thing should be
my question to you is, if the 12 months you say is unacceptable, how long do you think fairly it should take for you to have kidney treatment enrolled onto the National Health Insurance Scheme?
As soon as possible that they can work on. If a committee is going to set up, as soon as possible. We are looking between 2 to 3 months. It can work. But before then, the Korle Bu dialysis center should be open to the outpatient people. We are normally about 250. We don't have access to the place. We are just scattering, going to private dialysis centers. We don't even know their water treatment. We don't even know the concentrate that they are using. And most of the patients are dying because they are not getting proper dialysis treatment. And this is very serious. 12 months, that is, we are looking at about a year. We are looking at about a year. My brother, it can't work like that. It can't work like that. We are begging them. We can't force them, but we are begging them. If really the government really wants to do this, then they should expedite the process very quick. Proud to that. We are begging them. They should open the Korle Bu dialysis center. And moreover, listen, let me just chip in this. The government should look at the tax waivers on the consumables that they bring in. That is where the problem is. That is where the challenge is. Because a private person goes to bring the consumables, or a private dialysis goes to bring the consumables. He has to break even. And yes, he has to break even. The taxes on it are too expensive.
Right.
So the government should look at that. We are begging them. If they can take the taxes off maybe the prices can come down and we can manage the situation whilst they do the consultation for that 1 year thing Mr. Kuba is talking about.
Kojo, thank you. Kojo Bafo Ahenkra is the convener of the Kidney Patients Association in the country. Away from that to some other subjects, the Executive Director of Education think tank Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, is warning of dire consequences of the investment in basic education, especially in urban poor communities, are not improved. Speaking on a research conducted by Africa Education Watch, which revealed that highly and 80% of basic schools in the Adenta municipality are privately owned. Kofi Asare encouraged private sector players to support the municipal assembly to build more schools. We'll be hearing from Kofi Asare shortly, but in the meantime, private legal practitioner Bobby Banton says Parliament should be held liable if there are issues with a particular justice of the highest court of the land. He stressed the President only nominates in consultation with the Council of State. However, if Parliament decides to reject the nominee, there's nothing the President can do. Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu wants the powers of the President in appointing judges and justices of the Supreme Court to be amended. Here are some panelists who spoke on key points.
The Supreme Court itself is not happy with the appointment powers of the President, and they've made that loud and clear in that GBA case. They've made that loud and clear. And recently, you heard Justice Doche. Yes, it was also front page, Daily Graphic. He said the President has too many powers. We have to amend to cut down. I think if the Supreme Court was very happy that the President should just appoint willy-nilly, when they bring him a list, he can throw it into the dustbin and just choose any people that he wants anyhow, they would have said so. But you see that no, they weren't. They tried to be respectful, but you see that at the end of the day, they came to a clear conclusion that, Master, don't do this. You cannot just look at the list 1, 2, 3, and then you just go outside it like that. So if you say you are not bound to take it, then you too, you don't have the freedom. So don't forget, the President too cannot just ignore their list and go and bring somebody totally different.
The Supreme Court does not only discharge, for lack of a better word, even though they say we should not use that term, politically inclined cases or cases of constitutional interpretation. The Supreme Court deals with appeals. They deals with cases of interpreting the Constitution. I do not even think that the constitutional or the so-called political cases that the Supreme Court engages in is even more, and I stand to be corrected. It's even up to 30% of the work of the Supreme Court.
If a person is appointed onto the Supreme Court, that person assumes a life of his own. That is what is expected. That's what we expect all our Supreme Court judges to do. So, yes, Tokono was appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of the country. But recently, she said that she will not smile at any untoward interference in the performance of her functions as a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. I mean, that was speaking boldly. Also, bemoaned the lack of funds for the performance of the functions of the judiciary.
The problem with the system is that we impugn people's credibility based on where we stand. That is all. Because is it not the same Supreme Court that has given several verdicts for and against the NDC and the MPP? Sometimes the NDC will go to court. When they win, you hear them praising the judiciary. Sometimes they go, they lose, you hear them attacking the judiciary. I think that it is just the political class that has hijacked this conversation. Have you thought about the guys in the magistrate court and the circuit court? I stand in my office as an MC in the Kiapem North, and I see my circuit court. And I see people come there and being thrown into jail for stealing of goats and fowls and what have you, sometimes even without proper representation. Those are the reforms we should be talking about. That how do we ensure that, because when we talk about judiciary, it's not just the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, Alfred, is not only educating on NDC, MPP cases. And I insist that I want to challenge everybody to give me the alternatives. None of the alternatives will come without somebody being colored.
Article 146 talked about even the president getting involved in disciplining some of the justices of the Supreme Court. So because of that, what William Atubiga said is really clear. Same constitution says that over 50% of parliamentarians can be appointed as ministers. So where lies the checks and balances and separation of powers? Everybody wants to catch the eye of the president. So we've made our president, this constitution, so powerful in all the appointments in such a way that the spirit and letter of our constitution is suffering.
Those who framed the constitution were not so unaware of what was going on that they thought the president should appoint members of the Electoral Commission to come and referee a game that the president participates in. No, they said the president appoints, but acting on the advice. Acting on the advice means the advice is binding. The Council of State is really the appointer, and the president appoints as a head of state. As a head of state, he has a seal, and that seal goes under the appointment. But the substantive appointment is done by a Council of State. And so there's an interpretation problem with the way we go about reading our constitution.
Let's now go back to an earlier story where the executive director of education think tank Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, is warning of dire consequences if the investment in basic education, especially in urban poor communities, are not improved.
Over time, our attention has been on how to reach out to poor and vulnerable populations in remote areas where poverty is endemic, and by extension, in rural Ghana and deprived rural communities. That has been the focus. But the reality is that as poverty continues to remain with us, the challenges of rural urban migration, keeps increasing. Even in middle-class municipalities with capacity to raise IGN for 14 million cedis a year, you still have a lot of urban poor in this municipality who do not have the funds to access private education. And that is why we see this trend as worrying, because this is not only Adenta, it is Ayawaso West Wugon, it is AMA, it is Wejagbawe, it is Bonkatamaso. In all the urban municipalities, the trend is that municipal authorities have virtually relegated the duty of building new schools to the private sector.
Now, former minority leader and member of parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Idris, was hard on the Electoral Commission on the conduct of the just then delimited voter registration exercise. Speaking during a walk in Bolgatanga, he noted that the NDC will project the right of every Guinean to vote.
Is to the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Yes. We are serving notice that we are prepared for them into 2024. And we are demanding nothing but a free, fair, credible elections. We will not countenance what happened in 2020. We will not countenance it anymore. And therefore, when the Electoral Commission few months ago was trampling on Ghanaians' rights to vote, which is guaranteed under Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution. The right to vote is a constitutionally guaranteed right that guarantees the expression of sovereignty and the preservation of other rights. Any attempt by any person or institution to undermine the right to vote, undermine citizenship, and deserves to be fought. And we will fight that person. It's at 99% of GDP. They inherited a total debt from President Mahama NDC at 120 billion. Today is 575 billion cedis. And yet they say they have done well. Anybody who borrowed as you have done could have done well. Those of you who borrow from the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected. And then you go 575 billion against John Mahama NDC 120 billion. In 2017, Nana Akufo-Addo in Parliament described the 120 billion as colossal.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and we're going for a quick break. We are back with more stories. Please stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third edition of the Ghana Digital Innovation Week is ready to kick off from Monday 6th to Wednesday the 8th of November at the Accra International Conference Center, the Digital Transformation Center, implemented by GIZ on behalf of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. In collaboration with MASHAP, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, and the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, with the support of ITC and UNCDF, will bring together the digital ecosystem stakeholders on one platform to learn, share ideas, and network. Over 5,000 attendees, 50 exhibitors, and over 40 insightful sessions led by ecosystem actors. The three-day event will bring together digital enthusiasts, policymakers, students, private sector actors, and many others. It will be preceded by regional events from 1st to the 3rd of November 2023 in the Northern, Eastern, and Ashanti regions respectively. Attendance is free. Register now at www.gdiw.com.ga. Let's meet from Monday the 6th to Wednesday the 8th of November at the Accra International Conference Center. See ya!
Favorite Abner Rice is saying thank you to all its loyal customers and consumers for being loyal to the brand. From the 1st of September 2023 to 31st of January 2024, buy any 4.5 kg bag of Abner Rice and you stand the chance of finding a gift voucher inside the bag. Prizes you stand to find include LED TVs, washing machines, microwaves, blenders, smartphones, bags of rice, burners, and many more. Redeem your gift vouchers from any Lele depot or selected wholesalers nationwide. So, what are you waiting for? Go on and grab your 4.5 kg bag of Abner Rice and win big. Remember, the Abner Achedia promo is on from the 1st of September 2023 and ends on 31st of January 2024. It's the Abner Achedia promo. Buy more, win more. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya nasem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me nu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nu nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Joseph Semana nkoyie and person my emre nyina and imagine sebema na me be for there the one dey nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
The Ghana Journalists Association welcomes you to the 27th GJA Media Awards, a night of networking and recognizing achievements, themed Leveraging Media Freedom to Sustain the Democratic and Security Architecture, the litmus test of election 2024. Keynote speaker, Mrs. Jean Mensah, Chairperson, Electoral Commission, Chairman, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, Chairman, National Peace Council. Special guests of honor, Honorable Opon Nkrumah, Minister for Information, and Her Excellency Virginia E. Palmer, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana. Join us at the 27th GJA Media Awards as we celebrate excellence at the Accra International Conference Center, Sunday, October 29th, 2023, 3 p.m. sharp. Lead sponsor, GCB Bank. Major sponsors, U.S. Embassy, KGL, Ghana Gas, ADB Bank, Yoko, and Tobinco. Supporting sponsors, Ghana Police Service, Stanbic Bank, Access Bank, GBC, National Security, Kapoha, SNIT, Interlink, and Ghana Shippers Authority. Powered by the GJA and Glow Productions.
The news that matters most is the news that hits closest to home.
When it breaks, we are there.
If it touches your family, your city, affects your expenditure, your decisions, as well as your safety, we've got it covered.
It's easy to just cover the news. What we are doing is different, creating a news experience that prepares you for anything. TV3 News, award-winning journalism, world-class quality, on TV and online, right at your doorstep. TV3, first in news.
Do you want to be a star?
You saw them in pairs as they dazzled you with extraordinary musical skills last Sunday.
This is an amazing performance.
This week, they stand alone to give you a taste of what they know how to do best on the mental stage. Yeah! All 16 contestants will perform great renditions of music from their own choosing. It's the freestyle edition for TV3 Mentor Season 12. Catch the Mentor Season 12 show live this and every Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. TV3 Mentor Season 12. The world awaits you.
The Mentor Vibe.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray,
Bell Ice, Vitamilk, Dragnet.
You're reminded that today is the day that the late Ga Manye Nadede Omeru III goes home, and as expected, lot of state operators as well as some other top government officials, they already are supporting the family to take care of the funeral of the late Ga Manye Nadede Omeru III as she goes home today. The Vice President is there. The First Lady Rebecca Kufuor is also there. Samira Bawumia, the Second Lady, is also present and just arriving, and as you can see on your screens, is the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also arriving at the Ga Manye Palace. Well, all shops in the Central Business District of Accra, they are closed Saturday following a directive from the Ga Traditional Council for shops to be closed to make way for the final funeral rite of the late Ga Manye Nadede Omeru III. A visit to some marketplaces saw empty streets with some people who had traveled from far away being stranded.
This is Makola, one of the busiest places here within the Central Business District. But today, the entire place is empty as businessmen and traders pay homage to the late Ga Manye Nadede Omeru III.
Aside Makola, all other marketplaces and some traffic zone areas we visited, which include Thermal Station, TUC, Rollins Park, Agbogloshi, Kaneshi, Malam Market, Aboso Kain, and Circle, among others, were empty with no business activities taking place. The Accra Mall was also closed down as at the time the news team visited the place. Some customers who traveled from far were stranded as they say they had no idea of the directive.
I came from Ashama Katamanso, so I don't know that anything is going on. I came to buy cloth and go and sell, and I came and thought the shops are closed. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah, I came to buy some stuff, but I came and then the place was empty. So I had to call, and then they were like, today people are not selling and all that sort of stuff.
Transport operators are bearing the brunt of the directive as no business activities are taking place.
Away from that, New Patriotic Party flag bearer aspirant Kennedy Japan has again reiterated that he is the best man to lead the party to break the 8 going into the 2024 elections. Addressing the Central Region edition of a Showdown Unity Walk, he threw jabs at his closest contender in the race. bring you more on that report in the subsequent bulletins. Well, Media General has contributed over 20,000 bags of water, beverages, life jackets and other essential items to residents of Melpa, Ada and Singakopa areas affected by the Akosombo and the Kpong Dam spillage. The Member of Parliament for North Tone took the opportunity to advocate for the construction of structures on lands already allocated by chiefs. Gordon Asideba has more in this report.
When we came, we decided to go to the worst affected areas. We were in Mepe, and we are extremely surprised at what we saw there. We came with this token, our widow's mite, to support the Member of Parliament of the area and to support all those who are affected by this disaster. Like I indicated, we don't want to say much, but this is coming from Wembley, my good self, Stephen Appiah, Nat, to support the people who are worst affected in this trying time.
You're watching Media Live. We're back with more stories after this break. Please stay with us.
Your natural hair deserves the best treatment. And that's exactly what Maxim Twist and Curl Butter gives you. First, wash your hair thoroughly with Maxim shampoo and conditioner. Apply Maxim leave-in conditioner to make your hair soft. Then, apply a generous amount of Maxim Twist and Curl Butter. Then twist. Blow dry your hair for some minutes and add oil moisturizer to give it a great shine. With Maxim Twist and Curl Butter, you can untwist your hair and have it anyhow you want it. Available in cosmetic shops, Maxim Leave-In Conditioner and Maxim Twist and Curl Butter, because you're the max.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FD.
The Ghana Journalists Association welcomes you to the 27th GJA Media Awards, a night of networking and recognizing achievements, themed Leveraging Media Freedom to Sustain the Democratic and Security Architecture, the litmus test of election 2024. Keynote speaker, Mrs. Jean Mensah, Chairperson, Electoral Commission, Chairman, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, Chairman, National Peace Council, special guests of honor, Honorable Opon Nkrumah, Minister for Information, and Her Excellency Virginia E. Palmer, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana. Join us at the 27th GJA Media Awards as we celebrate excellence at the Accra International Conference Center, Sunday, October 29th, 2023, 3 p.m. sharp. Lead sponsor, GCB Bank. Major sponsors, U.S. Embassy, KGL, Ghana Gas, ADB Bank, Yoko, and Tobinco. Supporting sponsors, Ghana Police Service, Stanbic Bank, Access Bank, GBC, National Security, Kapoha, SNIT, Interlink, and Ghana Shippers Authority, powered by the GJA and Glow Productions.
This Sunday on Hot Issues.
Dr. Bawumia, Vice President, who many within the party, including some of those contending in the presidential primary, say he is the establishment candidate.
As General Secretary of the party, together with our National Chairman and National Officers, we have never at any point in time been coerced. We have never at any point in time been suggested to or before to support a particular candidate.
It would seem that the party now has made peace with the fact that Alan has left.
Well, it's a very unfortunate. We can't continue to cry over a spilt milk. For us as a party, we are focused towards the November 4th presidential campaign. That is our goal for now. For every political party, we are not angels. We are not saints. When there is a contest, certainly there will be some level of infraction.
Hot Issues shows Sundays at 2 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Now, this phenomenal guest of ours this week on Today's Woman needs absolutely no introduction.
If you take yourselves too seriously, if you think that this is the end of it, that is when there's a challenge. So don't think that if you don't get it now,
it's ended.
It's ended. It's the end of it all, right? another opportunity may come. If you are not intentional, if you don't plan, and if you don't execute, your wishes will be what they are, wishes. So you need to be intentional in every facet of your life.
Just make sure that you're tuned in and glued to your TV set this Saturday at exactly 3 p.m. on TV3 with me, Cookie, and Comfort Okra.
Today's Woman with Cookie T shows Saturdays at 3 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Latex Foam. Vlisco.
This is the new season of your #1 cooking show, McBrown's Kitchen.
Watch us on TV3.
5 to 6 p.m. every Saturday. McBrown's Kitchen. McBrown's Kitchen.
McBrown's Kitchen shows this and every Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3.
A man who has seen his fiancé's auntie in a negative light. His mom is nothing to write home about. They are all over the place doing things that married women are not supposed to do.
The message I saw was that the man said he didn't enjoy her the last time they had sex.
You mean your mother-in-law?
Yes, please.
Not your fiancé?
Not my fiancé.
Since her mom is already into such acts, I don't know what advice she's going to give to her daughter.
In psychology, there are two aspects that actually causes people to behave the way they do: nature and nurture.
When it comes to family traits, the ladies, parents, and auntie are fornicators. We agree. Now, Baba, have you checked your background?
I think that it is God showing him mercy by giving him that grace to even get scared.
And sex is not love. If sex were love, nobody would divorce. Because in sex, you have 24/7 to shut down on everything, close the door, and do the thing.
Confessions shows on Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. on TV3.
This is Midday Live on TV3. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana Plus on DSTV channel 279. Let's bring you more stories. Media General has contributed over 20,000 bags of water, beverages, life jackets and other essential items to residents of Mepe, Ada and Sugakope and the other areas affected by the Akosumo and the Kwao Dam spillage. The Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, took the opportunity to advocate for the construction of structures on lands already allocated by the chiefs. Godwin Asidiba has more in this report.
Families gather, their eyes reflecting a blend of gratitude for the aid and sorrow for the losses endured. Volunteers work tirelessly, distributing essential items to those who have lost not just their homes, but their sense of security. In the midst of this crisis in the Volta region, the generosity of the global community shines through as Media General delivers a beacon of hope in the form of relief items donated by the public. Life jackets, beverages, and bags of water have been donated so far, a lifeline for the resilient residents of Mepe and other affected communities who now face the daunting task of rebuilding their lives from the ruins left by the relentless overflow of the dams.
What the public, friends and family out there have given to us to present to the people of Mepe, Bato, North Tong and South Tong, so that their burdens will be easy.
The Ghana Association of Barbers and Barbering Saloon Owners, alongside Media General's 3 Foundation, brought a touch of positivity to the flood victims by offering them free haircuts.
We are here to help them with their haircuts, because some of them, because of where they are right now, to have a barber is very difficult. So we, Association of Barbers Association, have come here to help them, give them a good haircut, so that they will also be happy with where they are right now.
Amidst the challenges they face, this initiative not only provides a refreshing look, but also uplifts spirits and promotes a sense of community care.
It's so sad. That's why they are helping we. So thanks give to them.
I feel so amazing. Like I don't see this before. This is my first time I'm seeing it, so thanks.
The once lively streets of Mepe are now waterlogged. The relief items are a sign of tangible expressions of compassion from strangers near and far.
We are really touched, and we will never forget TV3. We will never forget all your viewers, and please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. We are very, very grateful. Now, our most pressing need is how to relocate them. They can't continue to live in these classrooms. Were not built for human habitation, for residential accommodation. There are no beds, no mattresses, no showers, no toilets. It's not for, residential use. And so they are living under inhumane conditions. No human being deserves to be going through this. So our chiefs have generously donated large tracts of land. And what we need now are companies, individuals who want to help us, to come and support us.
Media Generals 3 Foundation has additional initiatives in store for the victims. Keep your donations coming to support the ongoing effort to make a meaningful impact on those in need. Godwin Asidiba, TV3.
Now, the government has been advised to adopt a green and solar off-grid system for providing electricity to rural communities in the country. This, according to the energy expert, is not only cheaper, but will also help reduce carbon emissions and minimize the impact on climate change.
Most rural communities in Ghana continue to live in darkness in spite of promises to provide them with electricity. Bedabo in the Ajuman-Webuedia municipality of Ashanti region is one of such communities. The absence of electricity in this area, according to community leaders, has led to mass exodus of the youth to urban centers.
The
absence of electricity has delayed development of this community. We have to travel 20 kilometers to Mpesetia to even charge our phones. This has forced majority of the youth to migrate to where they can have access to electricity. Economic activities and effective teaching and learning have also been impacted. To bring development to the community and ensure Ghana go through the energy transition effectively, the Akentina Piaminka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneur Development has partnered with Smart Energy Solutions for Africa to provide Bedabo with solar off-grid system.
If we want to help the rural electrification project, the best way to go is to go green and to go solar off-grid system. It reduced the carbon emission and it helped government of Ghana to achieve a target of a 10% contribution for green sources by 2030.
As part of the project, some selected senior high schools have been provided with biofuel cook stoves to reduce carbon emissions.
Clean cooking, of course, it's not that the problem, it's not the only problem of Ghana, it's actually the problem of most of the African countries, and generally provokes health issues to women and children.
The interventions are geared towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 13, which calls for urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Goal 13 is intrinsically linked to all 16 of the other goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
Well, let's join Yao Fosulabi for some sports news. Yao, good to see you. Big day in Spain.
Yeah, big day in Spain.
Game, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Exactly, El Clasico, and it's at 2:15 p.m. It's one of the first El Clasicos that will be played in the afternoon, so it will provide a lot of excitement.
I see.
Barca have quite a number of players out, and Madrid have a full set, and so it's going to be really, really tough.
I see. Bring us the details.
Let's get into the sports news this afternoon here on Midday Live on TV3, and Real Madrid and Barcelona will face off each other in March the 11th of La Liga, and Barca manager Javi Hernandez is confident that his side can grab the needed points on a day, although the task remains difficult.
I think we arrived really well. We are ready to compete. We are in a good moment, I think. Psychologically, also physically, in a good moment of a good performance in the last two games. I think we play so well. But Clásico, you have more nervous, more tension, more everything. So we need to control the emotions. So we need to control this kind of emotions. As a player, it's totally different because you feel that you can do many things. As a coach, you have to control all the players, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, they're from Xavi Hernandez, who's coach of Barcelona. The El Clasico is this afternoon at 2:15 p.m. Now, CEO of Wembley Sports Company, Robert Coleman, and Wembley Sports brand ambassador, Stephen Appiah, and has donated relief items to affected victims in the Volta region. The items include sacks of rice, mosquito nets, drinking water, milk, and many others.
When we came, we decided to go to the worst affected areas. We were in Mepe, and we are extremely surprised at what we saw there. We came with this token, our widow's mite, to support the member of parliament of the area and to support all those who are affected by this disaster. Like I indicated, we don't want to say much, but this is coming from Wembley, my good self, Stephen Appiah, NAT, to support the people who are worst affected in this trying time.
On behalf of our chiefs and most importantly, the victims, we want to express our profound gratitude to you, your thoughtfulness. You could have sent the items. We are really touched. Now we know that Wembley Sports is not just about sporting activities and constructing astroturfs, but it's about the holistic development of the human being. It's also about compassion, it's about kindness, it's about fellow feeling. So we want to express heartfelt gratitude to you.
Onabofo Kotano were held to a 1-1 draw at home on match day 7 of the Ghana Premier League after Najib Ibrahim's opener was cancelled out by Daniel Awuni's 70th minute strike. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Long throw into the 18-yard box. First opportunity for Kotano, and it's there! The man on whose shoulders the striking ability lies, Najib Hussaini Ibrahim, gets the first goal from the corner kick. Well worked out. It was headed away by Shao Kahn. The backflip there and dead on target. And Accra Lions pick up the pieces now as they come forward into the 18-yard box. Ball is driven in, and that was a beautiful goal. Goal scored by Awuni Daniel. After working so very hard, it's Daniel Kwame Awuni who gets the equalizing goal. 69 minutes gone, or should I say 70 minutes gone. And Accra Lions are back in the game.
That's all the sports news afternoon on Media Live on TV3. Entertainment news is up next.
In entertainment news this afternoon, artist manager George Brighting says Ghanaian creators should take ownership of the Afrobeat genre, which has become a global phenomenon. Speaking on X Spaces powered by 3 Entertainment, George, who is also the manager of Camido, urged artists to position themselves in order to cash in on the gains made by Afrobeats worldwide.
A lot is happening outside Ghana, and we will have to step out, out of our comfort zones to, have a taste of what is actually happening. Afrobeat is growing, African music is growing. The consumption of the music from our continent is not just consumed by Black people; it's consumed by everyone. So it's only sensible for us to travel out there, to take a bite. And I think a couple of years ago, it was Jamaican music that was ruling in London. Jamaican music was loud. These days, it is so easy and so common to enter into the shopping mall to hear an African music, to see people driving by playing African music. Parties are playing. African music is big now. It's way bigger than the Jamaican songs now. It is because there was a wave and a lot more people joined. So nobody cares about whether it's going to Nigeria or it's going to Ghana. I think what Ghana is supposed to do is that we are supposed to equally claim it and push our boys more. Because you see, when they are coming to Africa to cover Afrobeat or to invest in Afrobeat or talk Afrobeat, it's two countries that comes to mind: Ghana, Nigeria. You get me? So if we don't claim it and we do this attitude of it is now, it's I don't care. Yeah, we'll just be sitting there with basically nothing. You understand? Right. So we have to claim it. It is an African thing. It is a movement that we have to join. We have to make sure that we are part and parcel of this whole movement. We cannot just sit home and say, I be Niger. If you be Niger, people are moving. I'm making promises. Moving. Middle is moving. Kid is moving. Stone Boy, look at Stone Boy. Look at what he's doing, man. I mean, Shatta Wale has been forced to move to London. You understand? I mean, things are really happening.
Let's now bring you some international news. As Israel's military says it has intensified its bombing of Gaza and its ground forces are expanding operations. Israel's military spokesman said forces had entered Gaza and were still in the field. Communication networks to Gaza are down and getting information out of Gaza is difficult. The UN General Assembly called for an immediate humanitarian truce, with 120 states voting for a resolution put forward by Jordan. Israel has been bombing Gaza since the 7th of October, the Hamas attack that killed 1,400 people and saw 229 people kidnapped as hostages. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says 7,000 people have been killed since Israel's retaliatory bombing began. That's a package for you on this Saturday on Midday Live. But there's always more news on our website, 3news.com, if you log on for more. My name is Noble Crosby-Ann, and on behalf of the top production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. It's the weekend. Enjoy it. Good afternoon.
This Sunday on Hot Issues.
Dr. Bawumia, the Vice President, who many within the party, including some of those contending in the presidential primary, say he is the establishment candidate.
As General Secretary of the party, together with our national chairman and national officers, we have never at any point in time